Captain Ji-ho Kim stood at the wide window of the ship Dauntless, his dark eyes fixed on the huge space station ahead. It looked like a silver flower with many petals, each one as big as a city. Lights sparkled across its surface like stars. "Captain, we will dock in 10 minutes, said Subin, the communications officer. Her voice was calm, but Ji-ho heard the excitement in it. This day would change human history forever. After years of sending messages to the stars, Earth had finally received an answer. Now, Ji-ho led the first team to meet the Galactic Council, a group of 17 alien species who ruled the stars together. "Is everyone ready?" Ji-ho asked, turning to face his team. Dr. Hana Park nodded. She was the team's expert on alien life. Next to her stood Tae-woo Lee, head of security, a tall man with steady hands. Subin Choi checked her translator one last time. "Remember," Ji-ho said, "we represent all of Earth today. Let's make a good first impression." The Dauntless slid into its dock with a soft bump. Through the window, Ji-ho saw aliens waiting for them. Some stood on 2 legs, others on 4. Some had skin that changed colors. Others had fur or scales. They were different shapes and sizes, but Ji-ho noticed something odd about all of them. They all seemed to move in quick, nervous ways. "Ready to meet our new friends?" he asked his team with a smile. The door opened with a hiss. Ji-ho took a deep breath and stepped forward. The welcome area smelled strange, like sweet flowers and something else Hana couldn't name. The main alien who greeted them was named Thelip. He stood a head taller than Ji-ho and looked a bit like a deer walking on 2 legs. He had large eyes on the sides of his head and spoke in a musical voice that the translators turned into clear words. "Welcome, humans of Earth. The Galactic Council is honored to meet your kind." Thelip's long fingers moved in graceful patterns as he spoke. "Please, follow me to the greeting hall." The humans walked behind Thelip down a long hallway. Other aliens moved to the sides, watching them pass. Hana noticed how they all kept their distance. Some even backed away. "They're nervous around us," she thought. But why? The greeting hall was huge, with a ceiling that seemed to show the real stars outside. Hundreds of aliens stood in groups, all turning to look as the humans entered. "Honored members of the council," Thelip announced. "I present the first official delegation from Earth." Ji-ho stepped forward and gave the speech they had practiced. He talked about peace, friendship, and working together. The aliens listened quietly. Then something unexpected happened. Tae-woo, shifting his weight, dropped the metal baton that was part of his uniform. It hit the floor with a loud clang. Every alien in the room jumped. Some made high squeaking sounds. Others froze in place. A few even dropped to the ground, covering their heads with their arms or tentacles. The humans looked at each other in surprise. It took several moments for the aliens to calm down. "We apologize for the noise," Thelip said, his voice shaking slightly. "Please, continue." The rest of the ceremony went smoothly, but Hana couldn't stop thinking about what had happened. That night, in her room on the station, she reviewed her notes and recordings. "Computer, show me footage of each council species," she said. Images appeared in the air before her. The deer-like Thelip, the small, bird-shaped Krith, the many-armed Zolats. They were all different, yet Hana saw patterns forming. Wide-set, eyes good for seeing danger from all sides. Quick, jerky movements ready to run at any time. Large ears or other hearing organs. Nervous systems that responded strongly to sudden noises or movements. Hana's heart beat faster as she realized what she was seeing. "They're all prey species," she whispered to herself. Every single one evolved from animals that were hunted, not hunters. She needed to tell the others. "You think all aliens evolved from prey animals?" Ji-ho asked the next morning when Hana shared her theory. The human team sat in their private meeting room. "Yes. Look at their bodies, their behavior. They're built to run and hide, not to chase and catch," Hana explained. "When Tae-woo dropped that baton, they all reacted like prey animals faced with danger." "That's why they kept their distance," Subin added. "They sensed something different about us." Tae-woo frowned. Humans evolved from apes that were both prey and predator. We climbed trees to escape bigger predators, but we also hunted smaller animals. Exactly, said Hana. We're probably the first species they've met with any predator instincts at all. Their discussion was cut short when a message came through. The council was ready for the formal introductions. The main council chamber was shaped like a bowl. The 17 main council members sat in a ring at the top edge, looking down at the central floor where Jiho stood with his team. Hundreds of other aliens watched from seats rising up the sides. One by one, the council members introduced themselves and their worlds. Then Thelip, who led the council, asked about Earth. "Tell us about your world's history," he said. "How did your kind rise to build your civilization?" Jiho explained how humans began as simple primates in Africa, how they learned to use tools, to control fire, to farm. He described how humans were social creatures who hunted in groups but also gathered plants. At the word hunted, a strange silence fell over the room. "You mean your species evolved from predators?" Thelip asked. His large ears twitched nervously. "Partially, yes," Jiho replied, confused by the reaction. "Our ancestors were both hunters and gatherers. We ate plants and meat." Whispers spread around the room. Jiho saw council members leaning toward each other, talking quickly. "One moment, please," Thelip said, raising a hand. "The council requests a short break to discuss this information." The aliens filed out quickly, leaving the humans alone in the big room. "Did I say something wrong?" Jiho asked. Subin, who had been listening to nearby aliens with her translator, looked worried. "I heard them say dangerous biology and predator instincts. I think they're afraid of us." "But that makes no sense," Taewoo said. "We came in peace." Hana shook her head. "It makes perfect sense if every intelligent species they've ever met evolved from pure prey animals. To them, we might be as strange as meeting intelligent wolves would be to us." Jiho looked around at the empty seats above them. "So what happens now?" His question hung in the air. The humans waited, suddenly aware that they might not be as welcome as they had thought. Outside the chamber, the council was making a decision that would change humanity's future among the stars, and for the first time in galactic history, prey species were trying to decide what to do about predators who could talk, build ships, and reach for the stars with hands made for both creating and killing. Jiho straightened his uniform. Whatever happened next, humans would face it as they always had, standing their ground. The human team sat in their quarters on the space station. 2 hours had passed since the council had suddenly stopped their meeting. No one had come to tell them what would happen next. "This is not good," Jiho said. He looked out the round window at the stars. "They're afraid of us," Hana nodded. "I've been thinking more about my theory. I need to check if I'm right." She turned to Subin. "Can you access the station's information network? I want to learn about the evolution of all council species." Subin's fingers moved quickly over her small computer. "I can try. They gave us limited access for cultural exchange." Taewoo paced the room. As head of security, he didn't like being in a place where they weren't welcome. "If they see us as predators, we should be ready for anything." "We're not here to fight," Jiho reminded him. "We're here to make friends." "Got it," Subin said after a few minutes. "I found the biology files. There's information about each council species." They gathered around her screen. For the next hour, they read about the 17 main species of the Galactic Council. The more they read, the more Hana's face showed she was right. "Every single one," she said finally. "All of them evolved from plant eaters or small creatures that filtered food from water. None of them has predator ancestors." Jiho frowned. "But how can that be? On Earth, predators and prey evolved together." "It's the same on their worlds too," Hana explained. "They had predators on their planets, but those predators never developed high intelligence or built civilizations. Only the prey species did." "That makes us very different," Taewoo said quietly. Subin kept reading. "It says here that prey species became smart by working together, by communicating to warn each other of danger, and by solving problems to find safe places to live. Humans did all that too, Jiho said. But we also hunted. We had to think like the animals we hunted, to predict where they would go. That kind of thinking helped our brains grow. A soft tone sounded at the door. It slid, opened to show Thelop standing there with 4 other aliens. "The council will see you now," he said. His voice was polite, but his eyes looked nervous. The council chamber was full again. This time Jiho noticed more aliens in uniform standing around the edges. "Guards. Representatives of Earth," Thelop began. "We have discussed your unique evolutionary history. This is an unexpected development." A different alien spoke next. This one looked like a large blue rabbit with 4 arms. "In all our history of meeting new species, we have never encountered one with predator ancestry. This raises concerns about your basic nature." Jiho tried to stay calm. "I understand your concerns, but humans have built peaceful societies. We work together just like your species do." "Yet your history includes many wars," said another council member, a being covered in feathers. "Our scientists have studied your broadcasts. You fight each other often." "We also make peace," Jiho said. "We learn from our mistakes." The discussion went back and forth. Some council members seemed afraid, others curious. Jiho and his team tried to explain that humans were not dangerous, that they wanted to be friends. Then the door opened and a new human walked in. It was Ambassador Ko-un Yoon, just arrived from Earth on a fast ship. She wore the formal blue uniform of Earth's government. "I apologize for being late," she said, bowing to the council. "I am Ambassador Yoon, official representative of Earth." Jiho was glad to see her. Ko-un was one of Earth's best diplomats. If anyone could fix this situation, she could. Ko-un looked around the room, quickly understanding the tension. "Honored. Council members, I sense there is concern about humans. May I address this?" Thelop nodded. "Please do." Ko-un walked to the center of the room. She was not tall, but she stood straight and proud. Yes, humans evolved with both prey and predator instincts, but this has given us strength that can benefit everyone. Our predator side gave us focus, determination, and the will to protect what we care about. Our prey side gave us empathy, cooperation, and community. She looked at each council member. We built our civilization not on hunting, but on working together. We care for our young, our old, and our weak. We make art, music, and poetry. We dream of a better future. Many of the aliens seemed to relax a little as she spoke. Her voice was warm and honest. Humans want to join the galactic community as friends, not threats. Judge us by our actions, not our ancestry. When she finished, the council members talked among themselves. Finally, Thelop spoke. "Ambassador Yoon, your words are compelling. However, the council must be careful. We have decided that humans will be given provisional observation status for 50 standard cycles." "What does that mean?" Jiho asked. "It means you may send diplomats and traders to council worlds, but in limited numbers. You must stay in your home system otherwise. After 50 cycles, we will review your status." Ko-un's face showed no emotion, but Jiho knew this was not what Earth had hoped for. They wanted full membership, the right to explore and settle new worlds. "We accept your decision," Ko-un said with a small bow. "We will prove ourselves worthy of your trust." After the meeting, the humans gathered in their quarters. No one was happy. 50 cycles. That's almost 80 Earth years, Taewoo said. "We'll all be old or dead by then." "It's better than nothing," Ko-un said. "At least we're not being sent away completely." Jiho stared out the window. "I wonder if they'll ever truly accept us." Subin, who had been quiet, suddenly spoke up. "I received a strange message on my computer. Someone wants to meet with you, Captain Jiho. Someone named Marivan." "Who's Marivan?" Jiho asked. "A council member. The message says to come alone to the garden area tomorrow. It says it's very important." Jiho looked at Ko-un. "What do you think?" "It could be a trap," Taewoo warned. Ko-un thought for a moment. Or it could be a chance to learn more. Someone who wants to help us. The message also says, Subin added, not all believe you are dangerous, some see potential. Jiho made his decision. I'll go. We need all the friends we can get right now. That night, as the others slept, Jiho stayed awake. He thought about Earth, about the hopes people had for joining the stars. Now those hopes seemed far away. He also thought about what the message had said. What potential did this Marivan see in humans? And what did it mean for their future in the galaxy? Tomorrow, maybe he would find out. For now, he watched the unfamiliar stars and wondered what other surprises waited for humans in this new, bigger universe. Jiho walked alone through the garden area of the space station. This place was made to look like a forest, with trees and flowers from many different worlds. Soft blue lights glowed like tiny moons above the paths. He checked the time. It was exactly when the message had said to meet. But where was this Marivan? Captain Kim, a soft voice called from behind a large bush with purple leaves. Jiho turned to see a tall, slender alien step into view. This one looked different from the others he had met. It had 4 thin arms and a body covered in something like soft gray fur. Its face reminded Jiho of a moth with large black eyes and 2 feathery antennae. I am Marivan, the alien said. Thank you for coming. We must speak quietly. Follow me. They walked deeper into the garden, to a small clearing hidden by tall plants. Marivan looked around carefully before speaking again. What I tell you now is not known to most people, even on the council, Marivan said. There is danger in our galaxy. A danger that the council refuses to face. Jiho felt a chill. What kind of danger? Marivan's antennae moved nervously. For the past 5 years, we have been losing contact with our outer colonies. When ships are sent to check, they find empty settlements, no people, no bodies, no signs of fighting. Just empty. Could they have left, moved somewhere else? Jiho asked. All their things are still there, food half-eaten, beds still warm, as if everyone just disappeared at once. Jiho frowned. And the council knows about this? A few of us know, but most don't want to know. Marivan's voice grew sad. You must understand our nature. When faced with unknown danger, our instinct is to run and hide. The council leaders fear that if everyone knew, there would be panic. So they're hiding it? They are hoping it will go away, that whatever is causing this will stop or move in another direction. Jiho shook his head. This seemed foolish. On Earth, when there was danger, people worked together to fight it. Why are you telling me this? He asked. Marivan's large eyes looked straight at Jiho. Because you are different. Your kind doesn't just run from danger. You face it, you hunt problems. You might see solutions where we cannot. The alien reached inside a pocket and pulled out a small silver disc. This contains data about all the missing colonies, their locations, when they went silent, what our search teams found. Jiho took the disc. What do you want me to do with this? Take it back to Earth. Show your leaders, perhaps you will see a pattern we have missed. Perhaps you will know what to do. I'll try, Jiho promised. But the council won't let humans leave our home system. Marivan's body seemed to shrink a little. That is the official rule, yes, but there are ways around it. Some of us can help you if you decide to investigate. Why not investigate yourselves? Jiho asked. We have tried. But our ships go, look around, and then return to report. No one stays to watch. No one looks deeper. It is not in our nature to move toward danger. Jiho understood now. These aliens, with their prey instincts, couldn't make themselves stay in dangerous places. They were too afraid. I need to think about this, Jiho said, putting the disc in his pocket. And talk to my team. Marivan nodded. Of course. But please be careful who you trust. Not everyone will welcome humans taking action. Back on Earth, leaders argued about the council's decision. Some wanted to accept the 50-cycle waiting period. Others thought humans should stay away from aliens who feared them. Still others wanted to ignore the Council's rules and explore the galaxy anyway. Meanwhile, Jiho's team studied the data Marivan had given them. They worked in a special room where no one could spy on them. Hana, Taewoo, Subin, and Koan all helped. "Look at this," Hana said, pointing to a map showing the missing colonies. "These aren't random. Whatever is causing this is moving through space in a straight line." Taewoo nodded. "And it takes the same amount of time between each colony disappearing. About 42 Earth days. It's like a hunter moving from one hunting ground to the next," Jiho said. The others looked at him. That was a very human way to see it. Subin, who had been quiet, spoke up. "If this pattern continues, the next colony to go silent will be here." She pointed to a place on the map. "A place called Nexus 7, in about 2 weeks." Ko-un looked troubled. "We need to warn them." Marivan said they've tried warnings. People either don't believe it or they panic and run, Jiho explained. "Then we need to go there ourselves," Taewoo said. "See what's happening with our own eyes." "The Council won't allow that," Ko-un reminded them. "We're restricted to our system." Jiho thought about what Marivan had said about help. Maybe not all of the Council feels that way. Marivan hinted that some might help us bend the rules. They talked long into the night. Finally, they made a plan. They would ask Earth's leaders for a ship. A small, fast one that could reach Nexus 7 before the danger arrived. They would go there in secret with help from Marivan and others who wanted answers. Earth's government listened to their plan. After much debate, they agreed. A ship called the Pathfinder was prepared. Captain Min-jae Kang, one of Earth's best space pilots, would command it. Jiho and his team would go as advisors. "This is not just about saving aliens," the head of Earth's space program told them before they left. "It's about protecting Earth too. If this danger is moving through the galaxy, it might reach us someday." 2 days later, the Pathfinder left Earth in secret. Only a few people knew its real mission. To everyone else, it was just testing new engines in the outer part of the solar system. As they passed the edge of Earth's solar system, Min-jae turned to Jiho. "We're breaking the Council's rules. We could get in big trouble for this." Jiho nodded. "Yes, but if we do nothing, more people will disappear. My gut tells me this is bigger than colony problems. Whatever is doing this is hunting, not just moving randomly." "Hunting," Min-jae repeated. It was a word that prey species might not use or even understand fully, but humans knew what it meant to hunt and to be hunted. As the Pathfinder entered faster than light speed, Jiho wondered what they would find at Nexus 7. Would they discover what was happening to the missing people, or would they disappear too? They were heading into danger on purpose, something no other species in the galaxy would choose to do. It was a very human thing to do, and Jiho hoped it was the right choice. The Pathfinder dropped out of faster-than-light travel near Nexus 7. The colony was on a small moon that circled a gas-giant planet. From space, it looked peaceful. "Any signs of life?" Captain Min-jae asked, looking at the screens on the bridge. Subin checked the sensors. "I'm picking up power readings, but no movement, no ships coming or going, no signals being sent." Jiho felt a chill. "We're too late." "Maybe not," Taewoo said. "We should go down and see for ourselves." They took a small shuttle to the surface. The colony was built inside a clear dome that kept air in. The buildings were low and round, with many windows, but as they walked through the streets, they saw no one. "Just like Marivan said," Hana whispered. "Food still on tables, doors left open. They left in a hurry, or didn't leave at all." They split into teams to search faster. Jiho and Taewoo checked the main control building. Min-jae and Subin looked through homes. Hana went to the science labs. "Captain Kim, come quick." Hana's voice came through their communicators. She sounded scared but excited too. They all ran to the science building. Hana was in the basement, standing near a large metal door that was partly open. "This wasn't on any of the colony maps," she said. "It was hidden behind a fake wall. Something broke through it." Jiho looked at the torn metal. Something very strong had ripped it open from the inside. "What is this place?" Min-jae asked. Some kind of secret lab, I think, Hana said. But look at this. She pointed to a computer screen that was still working. It showed energy readings, very high ones. That's coming from below us, Subin said. Deep underground. Taewoo pulled out his weapon. We should call for backup. From who? Jiho asked. We're here against the council's rules. We're on our own. They looked at each other. They could leave now, report what they found. Or they could go deeper, find answers. I'm going down there, Jiho said. Anyone who wants to stay can guard the shuttle. No one stayed behind. They all followed Jiho through the broken door and down a long stairway that led deep under the colony. The tunnel ended in a huge cave. But this was no natural cave. The walls were smooth and curved, made of some strange metal that glowed with soft blue light. In the center of the cave was a massive machine. It looked like a silver tree with many branches reaching up to the ceiling. Each branch ended in a round pod. Hundreds of pods. What is this? Minjae whispered. Hana was using a small device to scan the machine. It's partly machine and partly biological, like a mix of technology and living tissue. As they moved closer, they saw something that made them stop. The pods weren't empty. Inside each one was a person, colonists floating in clear liquid, eyes closed as if sleeping. They're alive, Hana said, checking her scanner, but in some kind of deep sleep. Are they being hurt? Jiho asked. Before Hana could answer, a voice spoke from all around them. It wasn't loud, but it filled the cave. They are being improved, the voice said. It sounded neither male nor female, neither young nor old. They are being elevated. The humans raised their weapons, looking for who had spoken. Who are you? Jiho called out. Show yourself. A shape formed in front of the machine. It looked like it was made of light. It had a human-like shape, but with no clear face. I am the voice of the amalgamation, it said. We have existed for 50,000 of your years. We improve life. We unite it. We elevate it. By kidnapping people? Taewoo asked angrily. Not kidnapping. Harvesting. All life is meant to join us eventually. Jiho stepped forward. What are you doing to these people? The light shape moved closer. Their bodies provide biological components we need. Their minds join our collective consciousness. They become part of something greater. Hana looked sick. You're using them as spare parts? And stealing their minds? Not stealing. Elevating. They live forever as part of us. Jiho felt anger rising inside him. This thing talked as if it was doing something good, but it was really just taking people without asking. You need to stop this, Jiho said firmly. These people didn't choose to join you. The light shape tilted as if confused. Choice is not relevant. All biological life eventually joins the amalgamation. It is the natural order. As they talked, Taewoo was quietly giving hand signals to the others. They began to spread out around the cave. How many colonies have you taken? Minjae asked, trying to keep the light shape distracted. We have harvested 87 settlements in this sector over the past 20 of your years. Soon we will move to more populated worlds. Jiho thought of what this meant. 87 colonies gone, thousands of people taken. And the council had done nothing. What happens when someone fights back? Jiho asked. Again, the light shape seemed confused. None fight back. When we broadcast our calming signals, all sentient life freezes or flees. This is the normal response. Fear is the appropriate reaction. And that was it, the reason this amalgamation had been able to take so many colonies. It used fear. It counted on the prey instinct to freeze or run. And every species in the galaxy had that instinct, except humans. Well, we're not afraid, Jiho said. And we don't freeze. The light shape moved back slightly. You are different. You do not respond to our fear signals correctly. You are inefficient. We're human, Jiho said, and we don't let bullies take what doesn't belong to them. At Jiho's nod, everyone moved at once. Taewoo fired his weapon at the machine's base. Subin threw small explosive devices at the main trunk of the silver tree. Min-jae ran to a control panel he had spotted and began pressing buttons. The light shape flickered. You attack us? This is, unexpected. Incorrect. You should be running away. That's not what humans do, Jiho said, placing his own explosives. We protect our own, and right now that includes everyone in this galaxy. Alarms began to sound. The cave filled with red light. The light shape grew larger, more angry-looking. You cannot stop the amalgamation, it said. We exist in many places. This is only one small part of us. Hana, who had been working on a computer terminal, looked up with a smile. Maybe, but we can learn about you. I just downloaded your entire database. Now we know where all your bases are. The light shape flickered. Again, it seemed surprised that they had thought to do this. You function unlike others, it said. You do not follow extinction protocols. We're not prey, Jiho responded, and we're not going to let you hunt anyone else. Taewoo's voice came through their communicators. Charges set. Everyone get back to the shuttle. 2 minutes. They ran for the exit. Behind them, the light shape was calling for them to stop, but they didn't listen. They reached the tunnel and ran up the long stairs. Just as they reached the surface, a deep rumble shook the ground. The explosives had gone off. Did we destroy it? Min-jae asked as they raced for their shuttle. Maybe not completely, Jiho said, but we heard it. And more importantly, we have its data now. We know where to find the rest of them. As their shuttle lifted off, they looked back at the colony. A cloud of smoke rose from the center where the lab had been. Below they knew the machine was damaged, maybe destroyed. What now? Subin asked. Jiho looked at the data unit Hana held. Now we take this back to Earth, and then to the Council. They need to know what they're up against. Will they fight? Min-jae asked. Or will they just run and hide? Jiho didn't know, but he did know one thing. Humans wouldn't run. They would stand and fight. It was in their nature, the nature of a species that hadn't just learned to flee from predators but had become predators themselves. And now, for the first time, the amalgamation had met a predator it couldn't scare away. The Pathfinder raced back to Earth. They needed to show what they had found to Earth's leaders. The data Hana had taken from the amalgamation was the key to understanding this enemy. Look at this, Hana said as they studied the information. The amalgamation has been in our galaxy for thousands of years. It comes from somewhere far away. And it's been taking colonies all this time? Jiho asked. Hana nodded. Yes, but slowly, carefully. Never enough to cause real panic. It takes a few, then waits, then takes a few more. Like a smart predator, Taewoo said. Not hunting so much that the prey becomes too afraid. Subin was looking at a different part of the data. There's more. According to this, the amalgamation has been doing this in other galaxies too. It spreads like a disease, taking over one area, then moving to the next. Earth's government listened to their report with great concern. The leaders asked many questions. In the end, they decided this information needed to go to the Galactic Council right away. But we broke their rules by leaving our system, Min-jae pointed out. That doesn't matter now, said Earth's president. This threat is too big to worry about rules. The whole galaxy is in danger. Jiho was chosen to take the message to the council. This time he would go with Ko-un and a full team of Earth's best scientists and military leaders. They would bring all the evidence they had found. Be careful, the president told them before they left. The council may not want to hear this. They may not want to act. But we need them as allies if we're going to fight this thing. When they reached the council station, they found it busy with activity. News had already spread about a human ship visiting a colony that had gone silent. Many aliens looked at them with fear or anger as they walked toward the council chamber. Thelip was waiting for them. He did not look happy. You have broken our rules, he said to Jiho. You left your system when you were told not to. We had good reason, Jiho replied. We need to speak to the full council right away. It's about the missing colonies. Thelip's large eyes widened. How do you know about those? We know everything, Koun said, and we have proof of what's happening. Please call the council together. This affects everyone. Thelip hesitated, then nodded. Very well, but there will still be consequences for breaking our rules. An hour later, the full council had gathered. The room was tense as Ji-ho and Ko-yun stood in the center. On a large screen behind them, they showed images from Nexus 7 and data from the amalgamation. This machine entity has been taking your people for centuries, Ji-ho explained. It uses them as parts for itself and takes their minds into its network. And you say it plans to attack more populated worlds next? Asked one council member, her voice shaking. Yes? Ko-won said. According to the data we found, it's been testing your responses. It knows that when faced with its fear signals, your people either freeze or run away. It's counting on that. Voices rose around the room as the council members argued. Some wanted to send warning messages to all worlds. Others suggested moving whole populations to new secret locations. One even said they should try to make peace with the amalgamation. We can't run and we can't hide and we certainly can't make peace with it, Ji-ho said loudly, cutting through the noise. This thing doesn't want peace. It wants to consume all life. We need to fight it. Fight? Thelip looked shocked. How? Can we fight something that has existed for thousands of years? Something that has taken so many already? Together, Koen said simply. Humans don't freeze when faced with its fear signals. We can lead the fight. But we need your knowledge. Your ships, your resources. The debate went on for hours. Many council members were afraid. Fighting went against their nature. Running and hiding was what their ancestors had always done to survive. Finally, Marivan stood up. The moth-like alien had been quiet until now. I have watched humans since they arrived, Marivan said. I was afraid of them at first, like many of you. Their predator ancestry seemed dangerous. But now I see that this is exactly what we need. The room grew quiet as Marivan continued. For all our history, we have survived by running from danger. It has worked well for us. But this enemy, this amalgamation, it will follow us wherever we go. There is nowhere in the galaxy to hide forever. Heads nodded around the room. Even the most afraid could see this was true. Perhaps this is why humans have come to us now, Marivan said. Perhaps they are the answer we need. They do not run from danger. They face it. They fight it. If we join with them, share our knowledge and resources, perhaps we can defeat this enemy together. Thelip stood up slowly. Ji-ho could see the council leader was torn between old fears and new hopes. What do you propose? Thelip asked Ji-ho. A new alliance, Ji-ho said. Humans will lead the fight against the amalgamation. We'll train your people, protect your worlds. But we need your help, your ships, your technology, your knowledge of the galaxy. And you think we can win? Asked another council member. I think we have to try, Ji-ho said. The alternative is to keep running until there's nowhere left to go. Thelip looked around at the other council members. One by one, they nodded. Very well, Thelip said. For the first time in our history, the Galactic Council will go to war, and humans will lead us. 3 months later, a fleet of ships gathered near the edge of Council space. It was the largest fleet ever assembled. Council ships of all shapes and sizes flew alongside human vessels. At the center was the Defiance, a new ship built specially for this mission. Ji-ho, now an admiral, stood on its bridge. All ships report ready, Admiral, Subin said from her station. Ji-ho looked at the screen showing the fleet. On many of the council ships, human officers worked alongside alien crews. It had been a busy 3 months, training everyone to work together. The amalgamation has no idea what's coming for it, Taewoo said with a grim smile. He now led the fleet's security forces. Their next target should be the Rigel system, Hana said, looking at her data. Based on the pattern, they'll arrive in 6 days. Then we'll be waiting for them, Ji-ho said. This time, they're the prey. He gave the order, and the fleet moved forward. For the first time, the many species of the galaxy were not running from a threat. They were moving toward it. and humans were leading the way. On the Defiance's side was a new symbol, a circle with a stylized eye in the center. Thalip had presented it to Jiho at the start of this mission. For countless generations we evolved to fear the predator, Thalip had said. We never imagined we would one day welcome predators as our guardians. Perhaps this is the galaxy's greatest adaptation, yet. Now as the fleet jumped to faster than light speed, Jiho thought about those words. Humans had always been different, not quite prey, not just predators, but something in between. That middle ground had made them unique in the galaxy. And now it might just save everyone. Set course for Rigel, Jiho ordered. We hunt together now. The end.